COVID-19, Paul Mango helped conceive, develop, manufacture, and distribute the coronavirus vaccine during 2020. He was Deputy Chief of Staff at the Department of Health and Human Services for Operation Warp Speed.
His new book is called Warp Speed: Inside the Operation That Beat COVID, the Critics, and the Odds. And Paul Mango joins us live now. Good morning, Paul.
Good morning.
Hey, Larry and Lauren, thanks for having me on the show.
Thank you for being here. So before this, we had polio, and that was distributed nationwide, but really nothing since then that had to be done so quickly also and at that scale. What do you think made this work in terms of a public-private partnership?
Well, Lauren, I think you hit the nail on the head. This is the most successful public-private partnership in our generation, and it had a lot to do with what the federal government didn't do. And the federal government didn't do anything that the private sector could do better. But this is a tribute to our great private sector and free enterprise, the innovative spirit, what I call the industrial dexterity, to basically develop, produce, and distribute and administer more vaccines to the American people faster than any country in the world, and 80% faster than any time in history.
There's the government part, there's the private industry part, and then there's the communications part. You may remember that many people were concerned that you heard them say, this has come out so quickly, I'm afraid that it might not be safe because of that reason. What would you tell people in that, to that statement?
Yeah, I think two things, Larry. I think we did botch the communications because in reality, these were some of the safest and most effective vaccines ever developed. The FDA in the summer of 2020, the Food and Drug Administration, imposed two standards that were higher than any other vaccine. One is a minimum of 30,000 persons in each clinical trial. Prior to that, it was 20,000. And an interval from the time one was vaccinated in that trial to evaluate adverse reactions extended by over 30%. So these are some of the safest and most effective vaccines ever delivered to America, and Americans shouldn't be concerned about that.
And still to this date, we have 50 million some Americans that remain unvaccinated. In the recent census, people, over 40% said they either don't trust the vaccine or don't trust the government. How do you think that we need to combat that now?
Well, Lauren, it's a great question, but I always fall back on, I think this is a decision that should be made between any individual and his or her physician. There's all types of reasons why someone shouldn't get a vaccine or why a vaccine wouldn't help someone. It shouldn't be mandated. It should, though, be a discussion, a very private discussion between one's physician and the individual. I'll just give you, for instance, if you've already had COVID and recovered from it, there's less need to get a vaccine. It can help you, but there's less need to do it. It's a conversation between the individual and the physician.
Was there ever a situation where industry saw a money grab and tried to take advantage of the situation?
You know, I don't think so, Larry. We had our heads down working with 15 or 20 different great iconic American companies, and I have to say they were extraordinarily patriotic, working around the clock, 16 hours a day, 7 days a week. Did they earn a profit off of it? I hope so. They deserve to. There was a report that came out in December that said these vaccines prevented 1.1 million American deaths in the first year. So if they took a little bit of profit for that, God bless them.
There's some interesting details about Pfizer in terms of saying, you know, when they were able to extract that sixth dose from the vaccine vial, there's an allegation that Pfizer demanded to be paid extra for that sixth dose. Pfizer says that's simply not true. But from your perspective, was it overall a positive relationship, but were there some obstacles along the way?
Well, you know, let me start by saying I think Pfizer made an extraordinary contribution to Operation Warp Speed and to the American people, so I don't want to take that from them. But boy, were they difficult to work with. The Operation Warp Speed team had the sense that they enjoyed all the benefits of working with the government, a $2 billion contract. We secured all the syringes and vaccines. We secured dry ice for them. We gave them Defense Priority Act priority ratings to get raw materials. But they weren't as transparent as we needed them to be, and then they didn't deliver the goods we expected them to at the time we expected them to. So they made a great contribution. I don't want to take that away from them, but boy, were they difficult to work with.
So I wonder, as the world has become more globalized, that perhaps it won't be another 100 years before we see another pandemic. So what lessons have we learned to help us in the near future?
Yeah, actually, Larry, if you remember, SARS was 2003, MERS was 2012, and then COVID was 2019-20. So you're absolutely right. It won't be another century. I think the biggest lesson learned is we had zero excess manufacturing capacity for vaccines in the United States in March of 2020. the Operation Warp Speed team had to stand up from scratch or expand 27 different manufacturing facilities in 7 months. It was extraordinarily difficult. We need to have some of that capacity available next time around for sure. And as I mentioned before, I think we need to do a much better job on communications.
It was a fascinating process and development. For more, follow Paul Mango on Twitter. Paul, thanks so much for joining us today.
Hey, thanks for having me, Lauren.
Thank you.